Hi, welcome. Here we're going to learn how to solve uh, a system of three equations with three variables using technology. And so the first thing we want to do is maybe a little understanding here first. Let me just compare. Like, if I had three, let's say 3x equals 12. Um, the goal of trying to get x alone is to convert my coefficient of that x into 1, because if it's 1, then I have 1 times x, and 1 times x is just x. So I've got the x alone. But whatever I do to one side, I need to do it to both sides. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take, well, what's the inverse of 3? It would be 1 over 3. Or I could even write that as 3 to the minus 1 times 3 times x equals, and then I've got 12 times the inverse of 3. And this is just another way of writing here, in this case, dividing by 3, and that would convert 3 over 3 to 1. And then so all of this becomes 1x, and over here this is the same as 12 divided by 3, which is 4, and so x then would be equal to 4. So we can do the same kind of thing here. We're going to use capital A and capital X equals capital B to represent different matrices. So we're going to say in this case that A is a 3 by 3 matrix. A is a 3 by 3 matrix. And then X is just the matrix that represents the X, Y, and Z variables. And then B is some matrix that would actually be a 3 by 1 matrix. And so we're going to try to convert this A into what we would call I, which is the identity matrix, which for a 3 by 3 matrix would be 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, and then 0, 0, 1, with the ones here in the diagonal, and then zeros everywhere else. And if we can convert that into the identity matrix, that's the same as kind of converting that number into 1, and thus we're solving the equation. So if we can take this A x equals b and multiply both sides by the inverse of A, then this cancels each other out. You get the inverse matrix, and then your value of capital X, or XYZ, will give you some value of X, Y, and Z, and that will be our solution. So that's what we're going to do. The first thing we're going to do is write this as an augmented matrix. So all of this becomes 1, 2, negative 1, 1, negative 1, 2, and then 2, 2, 2. And that's going to be our A. So not exactly an augmented matrix, but that's our A. We're going to set this equal to be A. And then we're going to say, we already know the X is our XYZ. We might just write it in there just so we remember. X is our value of little x, y, and z. And then B is the other part here, right here. 2, 5, and 12. So we need to go to our calculator and enter that information. So this is how that looks. Bring up our calculator, and we're going to use this matrix. So I'm going to hit second, and then push that little x to the minus 1 button, which gives us the matrix menu that's right above it. And we see names, math, edit. I'm going to move over here till we get to edit A. And then I'm going to hit enter, and it's giving me the chance to modify what A is. It's set to 1 by 1. We want it to be 3 by 3. And as I hit that, then if I hit enter, it just takes me to the top menu here. And then I'm going to enter in the values that I just wrote down on the other page. 1, enter. 2, enter. And then -1, enter. 1, enter. Again, -1, enter. 2, enter. That's the second row. Now the third row is all 2. So it's 2, enter, 2, enter, 2, enter. And then we're good. So to exit out of here, I'm just going to hit this like quit menu up here, which is second and then mode. Second, and then the mode button quits this menu. And A is just what that is. That's 3x3. Now we need to know what B is. So we're going to put B as our second. So we're going to go again second, then back to the matrix. And we're going to go over until we hit edit. And then we're going to move down to edit B. So for that, we just hit enter. Again, default is 1x1, but we want a 3x1. So I'm going to make it 3, enter, and then 1. And then we just enter in the values that we had, which was 2, 5, and 12. 2, enter, 5, enter, and 12. 12, enter. And so that's our B matrix. That was the right-hand side. And so then, like if I want to, I can hit. I go back to quit. If I want to see, well, what does A look like? If I can just kind of check that to make sure I've entered it correctly. If I want to, I can hit that. I can just hit 1 and just hit enter, and then it puts A out there on the screen. And now if I hit enter again, it brings up the matrix that I entered in. 1, 2, -1, 1, -1, 2, and then 2, 2, 2. And so, yep, that's what I wanted. That's what I had on the other side here. 1, 2, -1, 1, -1, 2, and then 2, 2, 2. So that's all good. And I could do the same thing with B, but really from here, it's pretty easy. We hit second function, matrix, go to A. I'm going to hit A again. But this time I want the inverse of A. So I'm just going to hit that same button again. That x to the -1 gives me the inverse of A. And then I'm going to hit times and then B. So I'm going to go back, hit second function, go down to matrix, and hit scroll down to B, put that B, highlighted the B. Then I hit enter, and it gives me inverse of A, then times B, and then I'll just hit enter, and it gives me the solution 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to write A inverse times B equals 1, 2, 3, which means my solution is that x equals 1, y equals 2, and z equals 3. And that would be my solution that we got from using technology.